Hey everybody, it's Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland's beautiful 8th Congressional District. As you know, I'm the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee for the Democrats. And recently, our colleagues, led by my counterpart, Jim Jordan, who's the chair of the committee, have been saying essentially that the president can do whatever he wants because, as Mr. Jordan keeps saying on TV, that the executive power is vested in the president of the United States. And they seem to believe that because the executive power is vested in Article 2 of the Constitution of the President of the United States, the president can do whatever he wants. But of course, that's a non sequitur. The executive power is invested in the President of the United States. But what is the executive power? The core function of the president, the major duty of the president under Article 2 of the Constitution, is to faithfully execute the laws of the United States. That's the job of the president, of the executive. The executive executes the laws. The president's not the lawmaking power. So if his job is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed, that means he can't thwart the laws, he can't ravage the laws, he can't destroy the laws, he can't rewrite the laws. He has to faithfully execute them. And laws includes acts of appropriation. An Appropriations Act is just another federal law. It's like a law saying you can't assault federal officers. So an act of appropriation to the Agency for International Development or the Department of Education or the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or the Department of State is not a budgetary recommendation to the president. It is a legal mandate. The president's job is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed and then to spend the money in accordance with the directive of the lawmaking branch of Congress. And remember, for a law to become a law, it's got to go through the House, it's got to go through the Senate in exactly the same form, and it's got to be signed by the president into law. Now, if the president vetoes it, we can override the president by 2/3. But we're talking about laws that overwhelmingly have been adopted by Congress and signed by the president. The president's job is to go out and enforce the law and not say, I'm going to use this law or this program as an occasion to try to destroy an entire federal agency or program. Much less is it within the authority, the prerogative of the president to say, I'm going to delegate that function to Elon Musk, who may or may not actually work for the executive office of the president. Sometimes he seems to be the head of DOJ. Sometimes he doesn't seem to be the head of the DOJ. I think the courts are going to try to sort that one out. But in any event, even if Trump does it himself, he cannot thwart the laws of the United States. Remember, we had a revolution against a king. We overthrew monarchy. And so we, the people, created the union in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and preserve to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of liberty. And then in Article 2 of the Constitution, set up the president. But Article 1 is the Congress. And right after the preamble, all of the sovereignty of the people flows into the Congress. All legislative power herein is assigned to the Congress of the United States. We make the laws, the president goes out and he executes the laws. Now, some of our colleagues have taken to saying, and I had an interesting colloquy yesterday with the gentlelady from Wyoming about this, that the president can order his officials to do whatever he wants. Well, I tried to get her to qualify that by saying he can't order them to do criminal actions or unconstitutional actions that are ultra virus, meaning outside of the power of the president, and she seemed to refuse to answer that. But that was decided in 1803 in Marbury versus Madison, the Supreme Court that defined the role of the court and proclaimed the power of judicial review. And in that decision, the Supreme Court said that it was very clear that it had the power as the court to order James Madison, who then was not president, but Secretary of State, reporting to Thomas Jefferson. But the court had the power to order Secretary of State Madison to deliver the Judicial Commission to William Marbury. So even if the president is telling a subordinate to do something unconstitutional, like withhold someone's commission, it is very clearly within the authority of the Supreme Court to tell an executive branch official appointed by the president to comply with the law. It is emphatically the province and the duty of the judicial department to say what the law is, said Chief Justice John Marshall. So These people need a basic primer refreshing them on the meaning of the Constitution. The legislative branch is the lawmaking branch. The executive branch just implements the laws that the people have passed as the people have passed them. And if there's confusion about what it means, it's the province and the duty of the court to enunciate that. And we have now 35 different temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions all over the land, striking down this just explosion of lawlessness and chaos that has been unleashed on federal workers and on the American people. So we're hoping that the courts will hang tough. We'll be able to turn it around in time for the people to reclaim the powers, the proper powers of Congress, and to make sure that we don't have a president who thinks that he and his billionaire buddies are actually dictators. Just wanted to give you guys that tip as to what's going on in the ridiculous claims being made about the powers of the president.